So as promised, I was going to give you guys the gyro recipe today. All right, so I sliced up some king oyster mushrooms. My avocado oil is heating up in my cast iron skillet. So what I did, I marinated it. And how I marinated it, I put onions, 2 white onions in the food processor on the shred cycle. And so it shredded up the onion and had juice. And so I put all that in a baggie along with some smoked sea salt and some date syrup, right? And so I sliced up the king oyster mushrooms really, not real thin, but thin enough, okay? And I was able to hit them with the meat cleaver a couple times just to get that texture a little bit more porous so that when you bite into it, the whole thing doesn't come with it, right? I wanted to actually get that meat flavor. So this was the end result. Right here was a nice porous piece of king oyster mushroom. Now I'm going to dip it in my flour here. Chickpea flour is really good. It helps bind it very well. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this in here. Okay. Now I let it brown really good on both sides. Then took it out. Took it out after it browned on both sides really good. Let it sit on a piece of paper towel to drain off any excess grease. And then I'll put it on my pita bread and get some homemade tzatziki sauce. And I'll talk about the tzatziki sauce in a minute. Tzatziki, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Sauce in a minute. I let it really cook so it can brown. But as you can see, even from it marinating, it looks meaty. I'm going to let that brown really good. And I'm going to let it brown back on that other side again. Okay. See? You can see the holes from where I was hitting it with the meat cleaver. This is my meat cleaver. And this is what people buy for, I guess, to tenderize meat. I've never had one before. I just got it. I just got this thing just for the purpose of the mushrooms. But someone recommended it that is in the cooking field, and I said, okay, well, shoot, I need to do it because I was complaining about how these little pieces of mushroom don't break off like meat does when you bite into it. And so they were like, get a meat cleaver. One of these hacks, I wanted to show you guys this while I was on the video. This is a really good hack that I do. I go in the grocery stores. I go to a lot of different grocery stores. And I always go where they sell the mushrooms at, because a lot of times you can get discounted mushrooms. These are at Kroger, okay? I go to Kroger so much, and I get so many, especially mushrooms are always on markdown. Because you guys got to remember, something. Not everybody's in our lifestyle, right? So most of the times, people don't typically eat a whole lot of mushrooms unless they're vegan. Remember that? So you will typically get a really good deal on some mushrooms. Okay. I'm gonna turn this heat up a little bit more. I like this heat high. It chars it. I like that little char look because it'll like the little burnt char look, because it really reminds me of the meat. But yeah, so I go to a lot of grocery stores. I even go to my produce market, and produce markets have a markdown section too, where stuff is overripe and it's about to go bad. And so they'll have a section where they mark down. I get cases of stuff for like $1 or $2. I took when I went to the retreat in October, I had a really huge case of apples and tangerine. It was tangerines. I thought they was oranges. I'm so silly. There were some big tangerines, and so I just made tangerine juice out of them, and I made apple pies and stuff. And I think one of the girls took the rest of them home because I didn't even use 1/4 of the case. And so we even gave some to the deers and stuff. Okay. So this is very simple. A very simple recipe. Again, you want to slice your king oyster mushroom in pieces, sliced pieces. And then you just soak it in the brine with the onions and the date syrup and the smoked sea salt. I let mine sit for 2 days, but you can actually do them with 24 hours. I have tested it with the 24-hour sit around overnight, and it worked just fine. But I like that real oniony flavor in my gyro, so I did that. And then we have the tzatziki sauce, and I will grab that while you are watching this stuff cook out of my refrigerator. I like this tzatziki sauce I made. It has a really good flavor. Okay, this is it here. So I made it like a week ago. Well, not even a week. Maybe about 5. Whenever I started experimenting with the oh, there it go. There it go, y'all. There it go. Now that's the look I was going for. So, all right. So what I did here was I used coconut milk. I put my coconut milk in my blender, and I put a bunch of hemps. I did not measure it, but I kept putting hemps in until it got thick. Okay, I put some sea salt and I put some dill, fresh dill in there. And then if you want to, before you start, you can blend up like a chunk of cucumber, which is what I did. I forgot to tell you guys that. So the coconut milk went in first. I chopped up a little bit of cucumber, like half a cucumber, and let it all blend in. I did skin it, okay? So I did that, and then I added the hemp seeds until it got thick, and the dill and the sea salt, okay? So it got really thick. Then I diced up little fine pieces of cucumber so that it can, give that cucumbery flavor. So here it is, y'all. And I like it, like I said, I like it a little charred so that it'll actually look like the lamb. Okay? It really looks like lamb. I love it. You see that? And I char mine. You don't have to char it if that's not what you're into, but I like, when I used to eat meat, I liked it cooked, well done. So I typically do that with the mushrooms as well when I'm imitating meat dishes. So that is it, guys. I am done with that. And you can go and do any type of pita bread recipe. They have some wonderful pita bread recipes on Pinterest that are for the alkaline lifestyle. I think Ty's Conscious Kitchen has a really good pita bread recipe that I used to use all the time. So you're not limited in the type of bread. You can use whatever bread you want to. I use a basic pita bread recipe with just chickpea flour, oil, and water. And I eyeball it and put a little sea salt in it. Okay, so this is it. This is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoy. Have a blessed and prosperous day.